Hello everyone! We're just jumping into it today, back at playing some Surviving Mars. And we're getting pretty close to having full terraforming. We're almost to 80% water, which is huge. We'll do a quick overview of what our fancy little marble's starting to look like. Lots of water. Got the green starting to come in real nice and thick throughout most of the places here. Hey, what's up, Rico? I hope your day's been going great. I'm gonna give you a shout out here in a little bit. But there is still this big desert part that we need to try and get remedied, which I think it wants us to do by melting the ice caps or cloud seeding. Been alright. Exhausted? Yeah, you've probably been working hard. I hope you get some rest. You know, you have a moment to rest and stuff. But you can completely understand that feeling. Just everything's exhausting sometimes. Let me come over here and do this real quick. Make sure the sound is in a good place. There we go. I did not click your name, and I was staring into space. I'm exhausted too, Rekko. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Like they say, Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
You know, that is one of the most played clips that it pulls from. The algorithm loves it. Some Shrek worship is what we're figuring out. So, very profound. Yes, very wisdom-filled. Yeah. This is our map. We've almost completely done with all forms of scanning, so that's good. You can see. Enlightening, some might say. What? So you know how there's evangelicals would... I just had a really bad thought. Would people who worship Shrek be called Shrek evangelicals? I told you it was bad. I told you. I'm sorry. Shrek-jellicals. Oh, flashbacks, the cats just came into my head. Oh. That's a powerful combination, is Shrek and Cats, the musical. Better out than in. Unless it's Cats 2019, that was better kept inside and not in theaters. Yeah, don't torture yourself and watch it, friends. Just watch the musical. It's better. It actually has people who know how to dance. Okay, we're just gonna take an overview. We got some grasses growing in places all over the map now. Our soil quality is getting really good. Let me zoom out for our soil quality. It's starting to spread, which is amazing. We started a wonder, I believe. I gotta figure out where I put it. Right here. It's gonna be our space elevator. So that is under construction, as is our new dome system. We've got visitors, cryogenically frozen, super rich people that we're supplying for some reason. Who's your favorite Shrek character? Gotta think about it. because it changes based on which movie and how the characters progress through the franchise. I think for the first movie, Fiona was my favorite character, but in the later movies, they really did her character traits dirty, and that fell out of favor. Dragon is pretty far up there, but like movie one Dragon and not the other ones where she's just basically a prop for interracial comedy. Let me turn down the sound. I just realized how strong it was. But and the new Puss in Boots movie, if we're going on still within the Shrek universe, but spin-off stuff, gotta say that obviously Death is one of the best characters ever written, but probably not my favorite in that movie. That probably goes to Perito. I haven't seen the Puss in Boots movie. If you are a fan of animation and you liked the animation out of Spider-Verse, I would give it a shot. I did not think it was just absolutely mandatory watching. There are some moments in it where you still realize, oh yeah, this is, you know, a movie that still has to pander to younger audiences. Do I need to watch the previous ones? No, it is completely standalone. You can watch it and you won't need to know anything else. So you don't even have to watch the first Puss in Boots movie. You don't even have to watch like Shrek 2 or anything to get what's going on. It's good as a standalone story, and it's got a great story, it's got great villains, and it's got a great theme and a fantastic art. So it is a good movie, an incredibly good movie that I think you should give a chance if you've got time to do a little watch. But yeah, I watched it twice. I watched it once, and then the next day I watched it again. And the reason why is the first time I watched it with my family unit, with Ham and her parental figure and her maternal figure, you know? And then the next day it was just solo watching to soak in things that you might have not got the first time. But both times gained something from it. It was wonderful. Yeah, definitely worth the watch, and definitely recommend it. It was one of the best animated movies of the last year, but that's not saying much because there was a lot of unpopular animated movies last year. We'll see. A lot of Pinocchios for like no reason. Everyone decided to release their Pinocchio movie at the same time. And it wasn't like completely planned or anything. Like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, again, another fantastic thing, and I would say that one is a mandatory watch if you are a fan of claymation. It is just perfect in its execution, and it subverts the story of Pinocchio in wonderful ways. But it does have a couple flaws that I won't spoil for the audience. Like, it's a great movie, but it's got this problem that if you think about it long and hard enough is kind of a glaring problem. And that's in the execution of the lie mechanic for the nose, and you'll recognize it when you watch it. Or you might not, and then you can come back and talk to me about it. But definitely Pinocchio, Puss in Boots, both need to be seen, I think. And Puss in Boots actually made me hopeful for DreamWorks. I was afraid because they recently announced Shrek 5. And we all know how Shrek 3 went and how it just basically destroyed the franchise. Hey, Cryptic, we're talking about Shrek. Recco's Lord and Savior. Let me give you a shout out. Have you seen the Puss in Boots movie or Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? Well, I'm excited for the Mario movie as well. Yes, I am too. But Nintendo was heavy-handed in their dealings.
Opening. The wall. You want to open? Yes.
I don't know if I had that up loud enough for people to hear. I'm gonna give you a second one. Because I'm a bit gilly-brained. I'm sorry.
Hey, wait.
Noise.
Yeah. I did it. I did it.
I love the animation those joints have.
Fucking did it.
Nice. A brand new one, yes. A rare new clip.
This is the equivalent of slamming your head into the wall and breaking the wall. I finally broke the fucking wall by slamming my head into it enough. Let's fucking go.
I hope your screen didn't crack because of that moment. Alright, on to the next thing. Welcome in. It's good to see you in your new clips. No, it wasn't that. Yeah, what happened to your did you just drop it and it shattered into a million pieces, or yeah, what happened? If you don't mind me asking, of course, you're free to ignore me as usual. Always feel free to ignore me. But yeah, Rekko, I'm excited for the Mario movie too. It looks like love was poured into it. Love the Band-Aid. It works well. Well, I was hoping that you wouldn't cut your fingers, and so it needed some support in the most cracked region. I think really would help it. For those of you who don't know, Cryptic posted an image of his broken phone to Twitter, and I reposted it with just like a PNG Band-Aid slapped on top, and I was like, fixed it. The fact that the actual game music that I knew was in the trailer got me hyped. Unlike the Sonic movie. Yeah, the Sonic movie, they should have just made it completely animated. So I have this problem with like live action remakes. They should just completely animate video game movies, and that's the workaround. The problem is that most video game movies try to be like live action, and I think it serves better to be done in animation because you can get a lot more closer to the original feel. You could do a lot of really cool stuff with it. So we were walking back to the car. I decided to jump and hit the overpass, and my phone fell out. Oh no. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the best use of that style of filmmaking. It was one of the only ones that worked. And then like Weird World tried to copy it and completely fell flat on its face. But I gotta say, Ham still talks about Hollywood as being one of her bisexual awakenings. So they still got the hot woman plastered in there. Jessica Rabbit in Hollywood really caused some conflicting ideals there of what was supposed to be normal experiences. Jessica Rabbit, 10 out of 10. She's 10 out of 10 because, one, she's freaking amazing to look at, and she's a loyal wife. And loyalty is the sexiest trait in anyone. She was drawn that way. Yeah. So, but definitely I've noticed the best adaptations of recent adaptations of video game movies have been in the field of animation because you can do a lot of really great stuff with it. And let's be honest, writers for animated films tend to be more caring about their source materials than people who write live action for some reason. The Last of Us 2 is one of the only, or not Last of Us 2, but the Last of Us series is one of the only well-received live action adaptations I've seen. Depends. Yeah, I guess it does depend. Like I was saying, the Last of Us writers, they obviously cared. But there was, when like Halo came out, the writers were basically like, yeah, we hate Halo, and so we're writing it the way we want. Like, why would you do that? Why would you get writers that hate the source to like bring that source to life? And it's okay for reimagining, but if it's supposed to be a breakthrough four-way, like it's the introduction to the franchise to a wider populace, I think it needs to be done faithfully first, and then it can be restructured by further groups. They need to hire people that understand and play that source material. Yes. Yes, definitely. And I gotta hand it to them. They redid a lot of voice lines for the Mario movie after the trailer dropped, and there was pushback against particularly the voice of Mario. There was enough care that they went back after the movie was made to redo like at least some of the most contentious parts. It also grinds my gears when someone goes, I want to tell this my way. Like, no one cares about your story. Follow the script and the source material. That's what everyone wants to see. And that's what I'm saying. At least for the first four-way, like the first part of it out of the gate needs to be the faithful one. And then someone can come along and go, this is my adaptation. Did they really redo lines for Mario? I know they redid the Wahoo. The Wahoo in for the race kart scene. I know for sure that they changed that one. So there was enough care there that after the public pushed back against the trailer, a couple of things were corrected to be more in line with the original source. And I don't know why they didn't just get the original Mario voice actor to play Mario, because people forget the range he has. They're like, well, if he just talks in the Mario voice the whole movie, it'll be annoying. But he's got range, so he could talk like a normal person. He doesn't live his life talking like Mario. He could talk like a normal person, and then in the action sequences, have the Mario sounds that are iconic. I think people might have been annoyed, but he's done plenty of stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's another point of contention for me. Imagine that wasn't voice acting. Like, legit, that was his real voice. I know. Can you imagine? So, I don't know if you know this. Okay. The voice actor for Mario basically crashed the auditions. Everyone was packing up at the last minute. He showed up uninvited. And he's like, yeah, but I still want to audition. And they're like, dude, we're packing up. And hey, Jexoy, I'll give you a shout out in a minute. I got some things I gotta say first. We're talking about Mario. So the voice actor for Mario, he shows up and he's like, well, just listen to me. And he gives the iconic Mario noises now. And they loved it so much. They're like, dude, you crashed the audition. We were so fed up with you, but this is so amazing that we're just going to make this the universal voice of Mario. And so that would be a hilarious concept to me if that was just what he sounded like all the time. He showed up to a place just to be like, yo, I look at what I can do, and I can only do the one thing. But that's one one of the contentions I have, again, going back, is when they don't hire professional voice actors or people who are willing to voice for the character, and instead they go for celebrities that only do themselves in the movie and they don't mold themselves into the character. Like Rock is just Dwayne The Rock Johnson in whatever movie he's in. He's not the character. And like that was a big worry whenever they cast like a lot of celebrities. Jack Black, when I heard Jack Black was in it, I knew he'd be okay. He does a wonderful job molding himself into the character, but some celebrities cannot do that. They are just their persona in the character. Yeah, I'll do care. Let me do the stretch first. Nice post rant stretch. Felt nice. And then we'll do a hydrate. Yeah, so that's what I gotta say about it. Welcome in, Jigsoy. I'm glad to see your face. You're talking about how Charles Martinet got the job? Yeah, I was talking about it. Like they're like, you're hired. What was your name again? And he's like, Charles Martinet. Okay, you can stop using the voice now, but this is my voice. That would be hilarious. Very cute. That's so clever with the animated movies. Like, it's just wild to me. Like, it seems like there is this hatred against real voice actors in mainstream animated movies. Your animated redeems, I mean. Oh, thank you. Yeah. They don't work a lot, so I have to fix them. But yeah, I thought they would be nice if people can see what I'm doing. Let me give Jexo a shout out. I told you I met Charles Martinet once. What? You met the Mario himself? No, you did not tell me. Can you add sounds to them? I will try, Rekka. Whenever I go back to fix them, I'm gonna see if I can add sounds to them. I did! He was so nice. You have to tell us, Jigsaw, after this clip. You have to tell us the story. I was so nervous.
Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2.
Oh, how topical!
Oh, that's such a shame.
Run, Yoshi, run!
Wrecked, Yoshi!
Jigsaw out for vengeance. Was he like, wahoo, I'm not a main character in the movie, the new movie? That would have... I wonder how he feels. Has anyone checked on Charles recently? Has anyone made sure that he's okay and not depressed? We need to protect this man with all of our lives. Yeah, I can imagine you being nervous. Okay, so I met him back in 2017 and he was the nicest person ever. That's amazing. That's a great experience. That must have been both the best and worst thing because you're like, oh my gosh, it's him. And then you were just so nervous the entire time, but you got to meet him. Now I'm sure he's already getting another paycheck for making voices for the next Mario movie. Mario game, I meant? Yeah, probably. I was so nervous and I stood around for about an hour near him. Oh, that's worse. It's like constant anxiety then. You must have been so exhausted afterwards because just the stress, like, afterwards, the adrenaline fallout. And he was doing the Mario voice so often. He loves the character, and that's another reason we need to protect Charles forever. He loves Mario. I was so starstruck. I would have been too. I would have been too. And another Imagine if they made a Mario game based off the Mario movie that's based off of the game, and they're like, from now on, Chris Pratt will always be Mario in the game. No, I will boycott. Okay, this may be a hot take. I don't think Chris Pratt is that bad, okay? So, fine and good. But no, Charles Martinet is an icon. Whenever he would meet with a kid, he would do the voice and the kid's eyes would light up. That's so amazing. That reminds me, the voice actor for Shaggy, and he's recently cut his hair, so he doesn't look like Shaggy. But the guy who voices Shaggy will do the same thing, and it will scare kids actually, because they're not used to it coming from the man. But I love voice actors that love their characters, that just like fill their role with passion, and they just love to share that passion with their fans and to see the wonderment in their eyes. Those are the best people in the world, I think. Charles Martinet is everything. He is in videos. Really? That's great. You're always worried that they're like, oh god, I'm gonna meet my hero and they're not gonna be exactly how they present, and they're gonna be a weirdo or something, or they're gonna be mean secretly, but then you meet them and sometimes they just are that person, and that's the greatest. But that's definitely a great story. I'm glad that happened to you. It was such a contrast to Goku's English voice actor, who I met on the same day. Oh no, was he a jerk? Was Goku a D-bag? Was Goku actually Frieza? We need to know. The audience deserves to know. If we're talking about celebrities, Ham met George Lucas once when she was a young child. Dirty monkey. He's pretty notorious for being not the best dude. Uh-oh. That sucks. That just sucks bad. So sometimes it is good not to meet your heroes unless your heroes are Chris Martinet. And then in which case you should always jump at the opportunity. Some people take it as a job and are just there for the paycheck. Vegeta though? Oh yeah, the English voice actor for Vegeta. Love that dude. Chris Sabat. Yes, there you go. I was like, why? I'm bad, so I will remember voice actors for their roles, and I cannot remember their names, but I know their faces in my brain. That guy was so happy to be there. That guy's been doing voice acting since the 90s. Yes. Yes, indeed. So yeah, Ham's story of meeting George Lucas was kind of bad. I feel like always ending a stream with a raid is a good habit. I'll do it if I've got more than two people is the way I feel about it, because usually the two people who are here with me is Jexoy, and he's usually already helping other people, so I feel like raiding with Jixoy, like I think even one time I raided with Jixoy into another stream he was into, and then you Cryptic. But if you're cool with me like taking you into a raid at the end of a stream, I will definitely do it. I just need your guys' permission. I don't want to stretch you out any farther than you're already working hard on. I don't mind going anywhere you take me. I know you don't. You're always down. Okay, yeah. We'll definitely find someone after the stream. Gotta network and meet new people. Yes, indeed. So we'll do that after the stream. We'll go find someone cool to party with. You know, this is the first time I've talked to this long at the beginning of the stream. I have not played this game at all. Gotta spread the Olo love. That is true. Gotta spread the friendship throughout the galaxy. Okay, we'll start doing that then. If you guys are cool with me taking you places, we'll definitely start going. Let me go ahead and get this started. But yeah. When Ham met George Lucas, she was like 7. And so she knew Star Wars, she loved Star Wars, but she didn't really register at that time that about the real people behind the stuff making it happen. And so literally she went to star in a very minor side character, background character role in a movie for George Lucas and a bunch of other people in a movie about a women's basketball team, and she's in it for like 1 second. Anyway, her maternal figure calls her over and goes, "Honey, this is George Lucas." And Ham goes, "Who?" Right in front of George Lucas. And she's like, "You know, he made Star Wars." And Ham was just like, "Oh." And then ran off to do child things because she was 7. So yeah, that's the embarrassing story of Ham, the ignorant nerd. Does this game remind you of your peeps traveling the universe? In some ways. We don't usually terraform, but definitely reminds me of some things we've been around. And in my personal opinion, even a raid by myself of 1 is nice. Getting a raid of 1. Okay. That's good. I need to hear this feedback. And, like, I'm always open to feedback. I'm always trying to grow and get better. Imagine meeting George Lucas and being like, "So glad to finally meet the guy that made Star Trek." Yeah, I guess that could have been worse. Could have met George Lucas and been like, "Oh," and then done the Spock sign. Because Ham was also into Star Trek as a child. Yeah. Another crush of Ham's was the actor that plays on both Star Trek and was on Reading Rainbow. The guy with the, the single mono visor. Yeah. I think he would be formally escorted off the premises, probably, if not banned from ever watching a Star Wars film ever again. She'd like show up to the theaters and be like, "Yes, get me into this," and like just every ticket clerk would have a picture of a "Do not serve this person." Just every movie theater in the world would have that picture and be like, "Nope, sorry, can't do it." You're not allowed. No more. Okay, let's start the outsourcing for a research boost. We've almost got the last 2 wonders researched, and we'll definitely get those on the planet. We've got a big population issue because half of our population died in the dust storm. So we are slowly rebuilding from that tragedy. I need to make bigger storage containers for these domes, so when that happens, they have plenty. Because this one, there were like no deaths in this dome because they had the mega water and the mega oxygen tanks. We're gonna get those down. Yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes people, fans of a thing, can also not be fans of its creator. And I think as Ham has grown older and has heard the stories, I don't know if you guys have heard the stories of George Lucas, but he literally had continuity teams that had to keep him on track because he would constantly try to revise the lore. And that's why we've got so many like extra scenes and like editions of the Star Wars movies, the re-releases and stuff. But he had continuity teams to keep him on track. So, and goodness, Disney did not do good on the next trilogy of movies. There was a bunch of issues with that. They did okay on some of the ancillary series, but a lot of them are bad or just unremarkable. They don't really add much substance. So, Star Wars, I think, went from being like a godly series of the original trilogy to being, just a mixed bag. Like, you've got the good, you've got some bad, and you've got some that are just meh. Like, the worst on the spectrum, to the point where it's so bad it's kind of good again, because it's hilarious to make fun of, is the Ewok movies and the holiday special. They're just the perfect type of wrong. Personally, that's what I think. I don't know, do any of you guys fancy yourself Star Wars or Star Trek, or any nerddoms you particularly like to be a part of or partake in? I'm always happy to hear what people are into. I don't think I could get this oxygen tank where I want it to be. I could maybe get it here and put down some pipes. And I lied! Can I connect these two? No, it won't do that. Okay. Let me get rid of this. We recently watched a video that I think if you guys have a moment, it's definitely worth checking out. Let me get the creator's name. It's called Starship Velociraptor, and it's by Jonathan Young. It's like a basically, at the beginning, they start this as a love note to, basically 90s anime or 80s anime or something like that. It's a love note to an older generation of anime, and it's really fantastic. I would definitely give it a watch if you guys feel inclined to do so. Let's move to the other domes and get some storage containers over here. Most of these domes are all connected, so we'll be able to support the domes with one or two in the pipeline somewhere. And then we'll get a water tank. Probably put it here. Okay. This is still being built, so we won't worry with it. And I need to take a look at the grid systems here, see what's all connected. This is connected to here. These get connected to here, back into this dome. So this one right here is by itself, but a lot of these are connected on this side at least. So I can get a pipe and connect these and get a couple of larger storage units across the pipeline, I think. So let's see if I could get a pipe over there. Put it there. Nice, nice, nice. Just like that. And then we'll get a second large water tank. We'll put this one here. And we'll get a couple of oxygen storages. 2. And that should take care of these lower portions. I'll put one over here. So that way they're kind of spread out. So if there's pipe failures, we can kind of negate that. So this one is connected into this system, but this one's by itself. Let's get... We could put a pipe out of this connection, so let's put the water right here. Right there. And then we'll see if we could put it on an oxygen tank. We'll put it right here at this connection point. Right there. Okay, this one already has a large water. So let's get a large oxygen storage. Oh, it already has one. Okay, so that one's fine. So now I think we just got these 2 domes here. I don't want to destroy our forest to build. So maybe I'll just try to connect these domes to the larger network with pipes. So we'll like connect it from here to here. And that should connect the pipe systems of all the domes. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and fast forward. Start getting some work done. Let's see, I know we're having some production issues with fuel. We're needing quite a bit to store up. How are my rockets doing? And there's any planetary missions we can send them on. They just came back from seeding a majority of the planet. So it doesn't look like we've got any more seed things available. We're to a point where it's really just a lot of cloud seeding projects. Yeah, so the big ones right now for terraforming are just melting the ice caps and cloud seeding. So those ones, they require quite a bit of fuel, so we'll have to wait till our fuel reserves are back into supply to worry about planetary missions again. I know there was a supply rocket of some kind. Did we get that ordered? We may have already unloaded it, because everything seems to be in a normal pattern. It looks like we did some trade with India. I don't know what, but we're giving them concrete for it. So maybe polymers. We can keep that open. We seem to have plenty of concrete, so we'll definitely keep that trade route open.
Funding received.
Funding received. Thank you. That's right. We built a lake here, so now we'll have a place for seeds to take root real easy once this gets filled up. I forgot that that was a project we had started. And how's this project coming along? I'm gonna do a hydrate. I'm thirsty. Okay. So this rocket's almost done. You know, this rocket filled with rich people frozen in a block of ice that we're helping just because they're just needing a few electronics parts, and I remember now that that was a place of contention. Can I think I remember. I have to send one of you back to Earth so I can get a new supply of material here. I need electronics parts. Yeah. So once you're fueled up, go ahead, load up on Monet, and then we'll send you back home after you're done refueling. That one's a trade rocket. Most of my rockets are trade rockets. They're taking rare metals back to Earth so we can get funding to get emergency supplies whenever we need it. I remember a big holdup for this area was transportation, but I think we got those issues hammered out for the most part by just overflowing the map with flying aerial drones, which we've got pretty maxed out. Right now the global load's a little strained because of the projects for the tanks we've got going on, but it looks like they're being built in a nice orderly fashion. And that'll continue to go good. I remember a big problem we were having was water production. And we were going to try to create an ancillary hydroponics, not hydroponics, but an ancillary moisture evaporator farm area. Let's go ahead and try that. We'll go ahead and go with this area. Pretty barren, and it's nice and flat. So let's kind of face them this way so we can have the pipes come out and join them. And we will put them on the cusp of one another, but not overlapping, so that we don't have the reduction of production. So just as close as we can get it, basically. Let me undo this one. Because it'll fit nicely into that little hex notch there, and I think that's going to be better for the farm setup. Okay, so we'll have it like that. Then we'll get some windy boys to power them, and then we'll get some pipe. We had those prefabs from a event where we found an object on the planet and we can choose what we needed. I went with the moisture evaporator prefabs because this project trying to get the water up for our solar wonder, it needs a lot. Okay, so India, we're asking for polymers in exchange for concrete, so we'll still keep doing that. Did I think I made, yes, I made another fuel depot over here to try and combat the fuel, the production issues.
Funding received.
Nice, nice, nice. I don't think I'll build any more moisture evaporators. I'll upgrade these ones, but I don't want to waste the not waste, but I don't want to use the resources to build them at this time. We need to save them up for building our wonders and all that good stuff. Just checking my stats real quick, see where we're at. We seem to be doing pretty good. Getting resources out to this hub has been a little difficult, but that's fine. A lot of them are being siphoned into this project right now, or Space Elevator, which is supposed to make importing resources and exporting resources cheaper. At least that's what I understand. You ever accidentally have everyone not live? Like, you mean accidentally wipe out an entire Martian colony? This is our second playthrough of this game, because the first one, through no fault of my own, the colony was wiped out by an evil mega corporation on Earth. And what they had done was they had sent experimental tanks to Mars that we warned the UN of, like, hey, they're breaking treaties and stuff, sending these tanks to Mars. And then the UN Council is like, hey dude, why'd you send all these tanks to Mars? And so in retaliation, the guy completely obliterated every dome in my colony and killed every human on the planet to retaliate. Which, what's he gonna do back on Earth? That's sure, you wiped out the people who outed you, but you're still on trial for the tanks, and now you're gonna be on trial for planetary genocide. Like, that's not helping your case. Killing my colony didn't save you from from the gulag. Jeez. Yeah. So this is the second colony. This is the alternate universe where ESO-Corp will not exist. So Ooh, we do have a new seed project. Nice. I need to send this rocket back home though, so I can get supplies before I try to seed more things onto the planet. So yeah, Sorry about that. Um, yeah, so we've definitely had a run of things. This colony has been going pretty good. There have been some moments where I've almost killed everyone, through poor management, but they bounced back. They got this. They're hardy people, these Martians. And at this point, they all are Martian-born. None of them are from Earth at this point. I haven't imported anyone new. So they are all technically Martians. Hardy, yes. They're hearty people. I meant to say hardy. My communicator has some errors sometimes. Most of the time. It was not built for chemical translations. If your heart stops beating, can you still be called hardy? I mean, no. I guess technically not. I mean, I guess that depends. Is hardiness from the presence of the heart or from the emotion of the heart? More like Daddy. Yeah, probably. More like decomposing. Yeah, they'd probably be called that. But luckily we haven't researched Soylent Green, so at least they're not going to be food. They can say that. Which is a real thing you can research in this game, by the way. Decomposing. It's a real thing in this game. You can see Soylent Green. You can turn the dead colonist into food. And I have not researched that out of ethical principle. So, no Soylent Green for the Martian citizens. Might as well recycle. I prefer... So, again, because Cam grew up in a business of death, basically. Looks like we're having a power issue over here. That's why the factory needs to be repaired. And it needs electronics parts to do it. Okay. While I set this up, let me tell this story. How the business of death. So, Ham's family sold headstones. So, in Western culture, usually there will be a monument in a cemetery with a body or maybe an urn with ashes, and Ham's family sold these stones you would see in those cemeteries, and then they would like personally engrave them and put designs on them as the family desired and as the information of the deceased dictated. So grew up around a lot of funerals, funeral houses, cemeteries, practices, just all kinds of different stuff. So when you're, raised around death, you learn about a lot of different types of burial techniques. And so I think a really nice burial technique, and this is the way Ham wants to be buried, is basically there's this tower and you get buried at the top of the tower, and you get buried with this special kind of mulch. And then what happens is as you decompose, your bits turn into different things and fall down the tower, get compressed down the tower as time goes on. And then you come out at the end of it all as soil, and you get shipped out as compostable soil to go make something else grow. So that is the great recycling Ham wants to go through. I guess you could say Ham's family was always ahead of the game. Yeah, not particularly. Metaphorically, probably. You know, there were always those people that would joke and they're like, well, you must be recession proof, but you know. But actually, no. Because stone is very expensive for suppliers and for people who sell them to purchase or selling. So for the recession, you know, people will spend less money, so they're going to get the less expensive stones, which in turn means that you have a lower margin of profit. So no, selling headstones is not recession proof. The business was a wash, you know, but they were providing a service to the community for as long as they could until it's shuttering. So yeah. And there's a lot more behind it than you would think. But I guess people don't really think about it all that much unless they have to think about it. Is Ham falling in her parental unit's footsteps? In a way, but not the way you think. So, the family business had to be closed. What happened was there was someone who just embezzled it into the ground. A manager position embezzled it to the point where it was completely unsavable. So they had to close the doors. But Ham's parental unit went back to college, and Ham went to college with her. And so they went to college together. They got their college degrees together. They both went into fields of psychology and mental health research. So yeah. Maybe not so much as following in the footsteps, but more like standing alongside, if you will. That's a cute story. I think so too. And I think maybe it was for the better. A lot of people, whenever you're in a family business, there's this obligation to be a part of it and to continue its propagation and success. And that caused, like Ham's parental figure particularly, to fail and like almost a purposeful sabotage of one's own desires to fit into the role you are more or less expected to fit into. And so after there was no more issues, they got to go and do the things they wanted to do. It went from the family that stones together, stays together, to the family that studies together, stays together. That's true. That is really cute. Except the family didn't stay together. So the Ham and the parental unit, the maternal figure, did stay together, but the rest of them fell off. It was a really ugly experience. What's going on? Why no life support? Still electricity. Okay. So yeah, the family unit shrunk significantly. But in return, I think it is a more healthy family unit. They have grown a lot, and since both of them have studied in the fields of how not to be, you know, complete jerk to people, they learned why people are jerks to people, and the problems anyone has therein of. I think it helped them be a healthier unit. So overall, an upgrade. Momentary discomfort, you know, and suffering for a greater gain. This power grid is woefully underpowered with this, so I'm going to try to connect it to another power grid. I think that's what's going to be the best fix for now, because our power cables can get in without any construction cost. We literally don't have to use anything to build these anymore. So let's just connect these two grid systems. That'll fix it. Yeah. Moral of the story, there may be points in your life where the people that you are born into are not the best people for you to be a part of forever.
Funding
And
received.
you have to make that choice to stay in it or become a healthier person.
Funding received.
Spoken like a true psychologist. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm kind of warped forever now. Of knowing these two humans. Why unfortunately? I think especially for a lot of cultures, I can't say for every culture, but family unit in human culture seems to be a very strong and needed presence. So like having a strong familial network is, you know, the best out of situations, but sometimes it's like a lottery. Sometimes you're born into it, and a lot of times you're not. So you have to create a new network, which is harder than if you're born into it, right? And that's why it's unfortunate. It's some people will have to put in more effort to get the support and love they need in their life. Friendship is the second family. So that reminds me of the saying, whenever people are like, blood is thicker than water, it's a drastically warped phrase. And they use it in the wrong context a lot. They use it to mean your family is more important than your other relationship. The original context is the exact opposite of that. The original phrase is that it's like the covenant of blood is thicker than the water of the womb, and it means the bonds you choose to forge are greater than the ones you're born into. And that is the true meaning of that phrase. That's circumstantial. Yes. Yes, it is.
Crop failure reported.
Yep, knew that was going to be coming. We still have a couple of those. We don't have enough workers in those buildings. So the real meaning of blood is thicker than water is that the bonds you choose to put yourself into are stronger, or to keep in your life, are stronger than the ones you're born into. And those bonds, like, you can be born into a unit where you can have strong bonds, and sometimes you're born into a unit where you have to separate in order to be a healthier individual and find your own new network. And that just happens sometimes. It's the way of the world as it is. But I hope for anyone out there that's going through the initial part of that stage, like Ham and her unit had to go through, just know that there are people out there for you to network with, that you can create your own family and find your own unit, and that'll be a better one for you. Surround yourself with the people that love and support you, that make you healthy and help you be a wiser, better individual. That's what I gotta say on the matter. Makes sense. Yeah. I think so. So, and it can take a while, but there is a place for you. The universe is vast, and there's always going to be a place for you somewhere. You just may have to spend some time looking for it. And it's an active thing. Sometimes you get lucky and fall into it, but you gotta be proactive in it too. That's what we had to learn. And there is a drastic difference, like whenever you go from a high drama environment with a lot of tension to going to a unit that's healthy, and then experiencing that drama again secondhand or firsthand. So you'll live a healthier life. Either, you know. Let's see, how are we doing? Our research on the next wonder is almost done. Fuel and polymer production are increasing. Electronics is increasing slightly. We gotta wait for that rocket to hit Earth, and then we'll order a supply of electronics parts. We should be good. We reached 80% water, 60% temperature, while I was rambling. So that's good. Both very good things. What does my seed look like? Oh yeah, we can definitely afford to seed the planet when our supply rocket gets back.
Funding received.
Okay, that was one of our return rockets, so still needs to wait. We got to the point last time where there are no more acid rains, so our forest will start to propagate, I think, a little bit better. Let me see what our seeders are putting out. Okay, I will wait. We'll see what the soil quality is on this. Okay, we still need to wait. Once I see a couple bushes growing here, I'll change the lichen to a tree. And we'll go through and we'll check the others and see what we can do. This seed plant can do that already. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do trees. I think this one is pretty good for the areas it has. So we'll go ahead and we'll switch it to trees too. And of course the other one hasn't started yet. You guys ain't left yet? Oh, you're still waiting on electronics parts. You know, our space elevator's almost done. I just realized it was under construction. That's good news, because that means we'll be able to get our materials in cheaper. Are you big into resource management games? Yes. If it's got resource management, if it's like Stardew Valley and stuff, I'm into it. After we get done with Surviving Mars? Nice. The elevator got built. After we're done with Surviving Mars, we're going to be playing Spiritfarer. And that is... it's got some resource management components to it as well. So yeah, just a lot of colony management and resource management sims are like in my alley of things I like to do. I have also thought of doing maybe one of the other Frontier games, like Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster sometime too, just because I love those games too. May even do some Jurassic World stuff, because, you know, love the dinosaurs and it's park management, so we'll see. We'll see what we get into in the future. Auto-saving, which means it's time for me to stretch and stuff, because I got the time. This autosave takes forever. Nice and stretched. And then let's get some water. It is a second one for you, Rekko. Take another swig. I'm nice and hydrated. This needs electricity. That one makes sense. It is an elevator. 40? That's not too bad. We can do 40. Especially on this plateau. The wind generators are more efficient up here. So this one produces 28 base. So we just need 2. And we could power our space elevator. We'll just put those right here. This is funny. I want to see that. I want to see if I could see this on the main map. Can I see this? Where's my colony? Ah, no, they don't show it. Okay. Okay. That'd have been funny if I could turn it into profile and I like just see a little tower poking out. Get my hopes up too high sometimes.
Research complete.
Mega satellite! Yeah! Okay, so that's the next wonder we can start building. Once we get our resources built back up. I guess we'll just queue this up, because it's something to do. I'm getting to the point where I've researched all the things I want to research, or the ones that I want to research are already in the queue. So it doesn't really matter where we go from here. How much junk does this, Oh, it's a planetary mission. How much do I need? Okay, there's a couple of them. Launch magnetic satellite. Or magnetic shield. So that one doesn't take very much resources actually. But a rocket will be lost, and that's where the cost comes in. Same with this one. Launch the space mirror. Rocket will be lost. But both of these, neither of these take a lot. It's just losing the rocket that's gonna hurt. What does it take to build a rocket again? Okay, it takes... I can do this. I just need to get my electronics parts in order. Let's get our cargo rocket ordered, so we'll at least have one on the planet. Load up on electronics parts. As much as we can. We'll do some polymers too. Maybe do 150 here. Okay, this has enough. Let's see. It'll export.
Funding received.
Faster way to reach space. Elevator speeds up cargo shipments to orbit. Exports rare metals to Earth and offers resupply materials and prefabs at a discount. Good, good, good. We like the discount. I probably should have placed this next to the mine then, if I'm thinking about it, because that's going to cause a lot of issues with transportation. These popsicles still here? Yeah. Fancy popsicles still sticking around for no reason. Okay. Get this loaded up with grass and bushes. So that we can start planting. You can already see some lichen growing around the lake. Very nice. We like to see that. Does this game have an ending? So, sometimes. Here's the thing. You can... There is a set number of mysteries that can be randomly assigned to you, or you can pick one. I did a random mystery that I failed at. It was a wealthy millionaire on Earth wanted to do a bunch of space projects. I only got 1 out of 3 completed. So it was just kind of like the, well, you did okay kind of ending to that mystery. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play until we get the planet 100% terraformed and every wonder built. So we've got almost all the wonders. We've got these 2 that we just unlocked that we need to do. And I think there's just 1 more. Yes, the stream reality is the last wonder to be researched. So once the Project Morpheus is researched and built, we've got those 2 satellites launched, and we've got 100% terraforming, then we will end the playthrough, is the way we're going to go with it, because the story end already happened a long time ago. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And I think we're pretty close to that goal because, like I said, we've just got the 3 wonders to build. And once this temperature hits 80, I think it is, we'll have a really huge vegetation boom on the planet. So it'll be quick going once we get to the 80% mark in another one of these. So that's our ending for the game. It is one of those games that if you survive the mystery, because some of the mysteries are very deadly. That's what happened with ESO Corp. They murdered us in our sleep. You can still continue if you survive. If you want to. So there's no set ending. Because even after, like, all this is terraformed and stuff, you can still play in perpetuity. If you desire. I do not. I'm actually kind of ready to start on something new, but I want to see this through to the end. Just because ever since I started this channel, this game has been one of the staples we've been playing. So 8 months now. 8 months we've spent on this game. So it's just time to move on to newer, grander things. Grander new things. Grander, newer, gooder, faster, smarter, all those things. Speaking of which, our friend that Maestro guy has been finishing up the challenge of songs for March and was working on Daft Punk's Faster Stronger song. Doing a really great job. We're really proud of him. You guys should definitely check out that Maestro guy on all the things, on the Twitters, on the Twitches. Very talented friend. Yep, he's a beast. Him and Spelly both, they're just productive to a degree that's crazy. And Maestro will say, well, you know, I'm behind on all these things, so I'm like not that productive, but I would argue that it is a really big ask to sing a song and like produce a song every day. And so I would argue probably more productive than most of humanity. Everyone has different standards for themselves. That is true. Spelly, for example, one of those that can just really knock out some projects. But
Funding received.
has very high standards for the amount she's putting out. Another great friend you should support. Spelly does art and spellcraft. both our channels. Okay, got our payload here. I could only like kind of put it here, I think would be the most strategic place. Because it'll get unloaded here and then it could be transported to both here and to the main set of domes. Kind of a good in-between. We're going to be traveling soon, and one of the things I hate about traveling is not being able to be as productive as I wish I could be. It's just,
Resources are low.
resources are low. Nothing. Nothing is low. Her fuel did get a big chunk taken out of it somewhere. Oh, that's why. Our popsicles finally took off. They're no longer with us. What kind of sucks about that is they'll be back just randomly at different times. I need to stop. Okay, this one was almost done. We'll let this one continue. We need to stop a couple of these rotator ships because our electronics parts supply is, or our rare metal supply is getting low, which means it'll put our electronics production into jeopardy. So I'm going to shut down a couple of these money rockets. Especially with the space elevator, it's productively sending things away. Let's see. There's that there. Dora's already on the way. Gonna get that mystery for us. How many more sectors we got? Just 3. We've almost got the place entirely deep scanned. That's great news. A lot of these buildings aren't working or stuff that need people in them. We just don't have enough people to fill the roles yet. I wish I could set the intervals on which the elevator is sending supplies. I think we'll use this rocket to be one of the sacrificial rockets for the Wonder in space. And after these send off and return, we will stop the shipping. I think we'll stop all shipping and just rely on the space elevator. And once this guy lands, we're immediately going to shut that part of it off. And I think this is its pad. So we'll keep an eye out over here. I see a waste dump site got cleared here. We're going to clear that. I'm going to set this to be high so we could get waste rock in other places. Places that actually need it. And away from places that we need to keep clear, like these water production sites. That way we can keep the concrete production going, but also let our facilities that need the waste rock operate as normal. Yes, and hopefully get the waste rock taken care of. Nuclear power, there is some. So here's a fusion reactor. Different than fission. Fission wasn't really established as scientifically possible yet, like when this game came out. So fusion is a part of the planetary production of power. So this one things like this need people to work in them, and these are one of the power facilities that use nuclear. And then there is there's this like battery equivalent that stores like nuclear stuff. It's better than the other batteries. But yeah, it does exist on this planet. By the way, the successful fission run it was in California. Huge day for science. That's going to change humanity in wonderful ways. So, for those who don't really know the difference between fusion and fission, fusion is like combining atoms, and fission is like, how do I phrase this? It's the opposite. Fission is combining atoms. Fusion is separating them. And basically, if you combine atoms, it creates a non-radioactive energy source. Thank you for explaining that. I had no idea about that. Okay, good. So fission creates a non-radioactive energy source. So it is a completely clean, renewable energy source that has... Can they use the collider with that? As a byproduct, yes, but the collider serves a different function. But basically, this place in California used lasers to superheat a chamber, and that caused the particles within it to, decide to come together. They got hot enough that they decided they'd be better together than alone. And that created more energy than they put in to make it, which is the crucial part. It produced more energy than it did to make the process happen. And so this place will not become a plant. It was a research facility, but there are places around the world that are trying to achieve fission reactors using magnets. But once humanity can really grasp nuclear fission, it'll become an entirely new way of producing energy in a safe and green, sustainable manner. Yeah, but the Hadron Collider, I think the big difference is with the collider, the energy produced has not exceeded the energy put in to the collider is a big thing. And the collider does something different. So with fission, you're superheating to cause the particles to come together. And with the collider, you're basically throwing particles at each other and smashing them into each other. It's literally a collider. So it's a little different. One's basically a pea shooter and one's an energy production plant. But like a pea shooter that could be used for science purposes. Pew pew, black hole. I remember that was a thing. I did in high school. I heard that when Ham was in high school that she did a paper, I think in English class, they had to find a relatively new news article to write about and present to class. And no one was really interested until the end of the presentation, where it's like, yeah, it could be a great thing for science, or it could cause a black hole to appear and turn everyone into spaghetti. I think was the way it was worded. That got everyone's attention. They're like, wait, what? Go back. We missed the paragraph. What did you just say? You know, in class when no one's really listening until something absolutely insane happens. Mom spaghetti. Galactic spaghetti. Okay, do not collect any more new resources, please. Do not stop. At start. Collect $200, all that good stuff. Okay, so there goes that one. The other one took off, or is fixing to take off. So we'll get those canceled out once they return. Spaghetti. Yeah, it's science is a weird and interesting, beautiful world. By the way, the theory about Planet X. Have you heard about the theory of Planet X? It is basically the theory that there's some mathematical indiscrepancies in the rotation and orbit of the planets in the solar system. So, one theory hypothesized is there is actually another planet, but its orbit around the sun is in such a wide arc that its presence is only presented within the current system every like few 100 million years or so. And it would be a large planet, probably a gas giant, that could be entering the system and exiting the main system at intervals, and it causes some of the mathematical discrepancies in the patterning of the orbits. Really interesting. So they just called it Planet X for now. It's an interesting theory. Of course, they haven't like found any solid evidence of it yet, but it's always neat to think about. Does anyone have strong stances about Pluto here? I have a hot take about Pluto's classification. I don't think Pluto should be categorized as a planet. I think it should be categorized as a subplanet. I am one of those who thinks Pluto should not be considered in the main planetary unit, but here's why. If we consider Pluto a planet, we have to consider the other planets, roughly Pluto-shaped in size, that are outside of Pluto. I thought it wasn't a planet anymore. It flips back and forth. So what happens is, let me check the current stance, because what happened was it was not a planet for a while. There was such a public outcry, they declared it a planet again. Is Pluto a planet? 2023. It is classified as a dwarf planet. Good. Good. As it should be. Because don't get me wrong, I love Pluto. It is a fantastic object, but there are like 12 other subplanets in this system. So if Pluto's going to be a planet, then things like Ceres and stuff needs to be considered a planet too. So what about the mad moons around Jupiter and junk? Yeah. So that comes down to what they orbit, basically. So since they orbit Jupiter and not the sun, they're not like planets, even though they are planet-sized.
Meteor shower.
That's a difference. Meteor shower. Okay, that's something we'll have to contend with. So, and Jupiter is literally eating the planet, the moons in its orbit. Because its mass is so great, it's just constantly pulling the moons into it. So you're a planet if you circle the sun. kind of. You also have to meet certain shape requirements and size requirements. There are some planets that are obloid shaped, which are like the three-dimensional oval kind of shape. And most planets aren't perfectly round anyway. Earth, okay, so here's the thing. Earth is not flat. Earth is not round. Earth is like a berry. It's shaped like a berry. It's got this big lump on it. Okay, I'm gonna pause this, and we're pretty close to the end anyway, so I will save it for later. But let me show you what Earth really looks like. So Earth is a berry. The Earth has a tumor, basically. And that tumor is a mountain. Let me pull up. Okay. So this is from ESA, the European Space Agency, who've done a great job mapping out the planets. So humans are the cancer, is what you're telling me. No, not at all. But if you come to that conclusion on your own, I won't stop you. Okay, let me get this. Yeah, so I've got news for some people. They probably don't know this. But yeah, your planet is not perfectly round, and hardly any planet found is perfectly round. Even Mars is oddly shaped because of Mons Olympus. And here's a better view of the lumpoid, so I'm also going to get this image in. But I've got two images for you about what Earth looks like. Let's come over here. I'm going to stay in the corner. Can't see anything? Yeah, I haven't put it in yet. I was trying to find the credible source. Alien music. Yeah, Olo music. Got Olo music going on. Okay, here we go. Not the box I wanted to move. This is Earth. It is not round. It is not flat. It is a perfectly lumpy mess. Earth looks terrifying. I mean, it is whenever it's got the height map put on it. Yeah. I've got another image here as well. Same source from the ESA. Different angle. Because it is spheroid. It is slightly spherical shape. Kinda like this. Who did this to you, Earth? Pressure and tectonic plate movements mainly. So this is your world, humans. This is Earth and its natural, shapely glory. Real planets have curves, and they're not all in one concentric shape. So all those satellite shots lied to us? Not necessarily, because the satellite images have taken into account the atmosphere. The atmosphere makes it look round, but the actual topical landmass is not round. So, atmosphere makes it look round. Topical landmass, it is berry shaped. So this is the truth of Earth, and I know which ones you're talking about. This one is from NASA. This is like one of the main pictures of Earth people have in their head when they think of Earth. We're gonna put it there. Let me add it in here. So Asia's trying to separate into a new planet? No, my friend, that's the Himalayas. That's why Asia's like that. Finally, Mush Earth, the real conspiracy. No, the real conspiracy is round Earth. Just let me transform, please. So the atmosphere is what makes it look round, right? We have this. The atmosphere is what makes it look like a sphere. But in truth, the land masses are berry. Berry Earth is the true power. It is the truth. Hydrate? I will hydrate. Did a second one for Jigsaw. There we go. Nice and hydrated. Yeah, but this is the truth of Earth. And Christopher Columbus wasn't only a murderer, but incredibly wrong. He was incredibly wrong and a genocidal maniac. Those things were both known at the time. Because he just kind of showed up and was like, I'm in India, I think. So, wrong from the start, both morally and geologically, speaking. Yeah, but for those of you who don't know, so these are all Earth, technically. But the orb shape is the atmosphere. The true landmass is berry shape. Berry shape Earth supremacy. My friends. And with that, we're out of time. Let me, I think maybe we'll just end on this screen while I go look for people to raid. Never ate a berry that looked like that. See, to me, it's kind of raspberry shaped. It's kind of got a little bigger at the top, and it's got some weird lumps out of place in some areas. Let me close down this game so my computer can handle the sheer power of opening a browser at the same time. My computer's kind of old, guys. Kind of old. Can only handle so much at once. There's probably no one else playing this game, so I'm gonna see who, I see which of my space friends is up and running right now. Just jamming to the song. That's nice. I'm glad people enjoy it. Alright, go to Go to the Twitch. I love your music. Aw, thanks. Ooh, Mad Cactus Soda's doing art. Maybe we'll go Mad Cactus Soda. Let's see who else is on real quick. Okay, I'll let you guys decide. Do you want art or Paper Mario? Also, one of the people I'm lurking, I think they fell asleep. Oh, that's sweet. Art? Okay, I see an art. Arty arts? Okay, 2 arts. We will go and raid a friend of ours called Mad Cactus Soda, another wonderfully friend-shaped creator. I just gotta get over to the actual place. Okay. All right, let me type this in. Very simple raid message. If you guys would like to copy it, we'll go on over and raid our friend. Thank you guys again for coming and joining me and discovering what Earth's true shape is. And I think my plans just got derailed. Hold on. I think maybe Mad Cactus just got off. Why, Mad Cactus? Why? The shocking truth about Earth. They just ended. Of course they did. Dang it. Okay. We've got to do something else. This Mad Cactus, I don't think is alive anymore. Oh, but Saltiest Bun just came alive. Okay. Saltiest Bun is also doing art today. So still art, still the arts, but we're going for Saltiest Bun. Let me get into the new raid. Click the raid button. They're just starting, so we should be covered. Okay, space friends. Again, thank you for being here today. We will not be here next week, but you can find me on the socials and stuff. We'll keep you posted on when we will be back. So until next time, have fun, space friends!